oh shit, Law's going to get better parking now. Because he's disabled now, so he's gonna get way better parking. So that we should call him Doflamingo probably did the motherfucker a favor. Anyway, let's go over this thing. Law shoots the shit out of Doflamingo. As like I said before, I think the reason why Law's doing so well against Doflamingo, even though Doflamingo ran through the motherfucker earlier, he's using up so much energy using Birdcage. Got a shadow Doflamingo out there. He's controlling people, all kinds of shit. Anyway, we see Law use his room almost at full capacity, or it could be full capacity. And I didn't know this, but the thing's a fucking orb. We every other time we've seen it, it was like a half ball, right? So I didn't know that it was going underground. So he controls everything around everything. Not what's above ground, under the ground, everything. So his power is a little bit stronger than I thought. And this fucking thing is so fucking huge. He almost took over the whole castle. And if you look at it, if he's in the right spot, he can control that whole tower. That whole piece. I think that's just part of the castle. But that thing is fucking huge. And he could that whole thing could be in his room. That motherfucker is strong as shit. Anyway, he sends one of the towers at Doflamingo's ass. He uses this defensive power called spider web. It's like a Spider-Man attack. He lays out a web and it just stops any fucking thing. Law's trying to send that shit to him as hard as possible. And then while it's coming to him and Doflamingo's trying to block that shit, he using shambles and zipping around the fucking place, throwing other shit at him. He tried to go for another attack, and Doflamingo just snatched his ass up. He said, "Get your ass over here." He grabbed him by his hand, right? Like he was a little ass kid, just snatched him, right? And he's holding him, and he starts talking shit about Corazon and everything, just pissing Law off. Then he takes his foot, puts over top of Law's arm while he's holding it. He's got him in some kind of weird hold. And then he uses his power, to make a string between his heel and I guess his calf. And it basically makes a saw. Then he grabs his arm and he's holding this motherfucker like this with his leg over top of his shoulder, like this. That shit crazy. But the thing about this attack, it didn't look epic. It's an epic attack. I mean, it's a devastating attack, but it didn't look epic. All you see is them shoot up in the ground, up into the sky, come back to the ground. Law's fucking disabled, missing an arm. Basically, he's the new Shanks. But as far as I know, shouldn't he be able to reattach his arm using his powers? Unless it's like his arm was all just tore up. You know what I'm saying? Like if they just smashed it or something like that, I don't think he'd be able to do it. But being that his arm was just cut off, can he just put it back on? He took everybody else's legs off and put it, new legs on. But I wonder how it worked, because if you notice, his powers don't work like when he cuts something, he doesn't cut it. It doesn't bleed. It doesn't expose anything. It just separates the two. But being that his arm is literally cut, will he have to make some modification in order to put his arm back together, or what? I'm not exactly sure. So I think he should be able to do it, but I don't know exactly how it's going to work, because of other people's legs being him replacing people's legs is different, because he cut their legs off. It wasn't like they was missing a body part when they came to him. He gave him a new body part. So he would use his power was used from the beginning. So I'm not exactly sure how it worked, but I think he could do it. Anyway, Doflamingo's talking about this D shit. He said, all that shit you talking about, how you're a D now? He said, all that's gonna do is make me fuck you up even worse. He said, I was gonna rape you anyway. You were already gonna get butt fucked. He said, now I'm not gonna use any lube. He said, do you realize when you said that didn't make the situation better? That's made it worse for you. Anyway, he's getting ready to shoot the fuck out of Law, and all you see is Jet Gatling. what you call him? It looks like I'm not exactly sure exactly what happened, but they took Luffy took out the string clone, but the string clone looked like it was cut. Now, if you look at the fight that's going on down below, Bellamy has swords, but Bellamy is being controlled by Doflamingo. So how did Luffy cut through him? So that I'm not exactly sure. He could have just broke right through the damn string thing, but he could have just used Bellamy in a way where he made Bellamy cut it. So I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, my man Doflamingo, he tells Bellamy, he said, man, you're a waste of fucking air. He said, you're up here breathing all our good air and shit like that. You ain't worth shit. Your family ain't worth shit. You ain't going to be worth shit because your father wasn't worth shit. He said, I don't even want to control you anymore. He said, go ahead, do whatever you need to do, right? He lets go of Bellamy, right? And you have a flashback of how Bellamy met with Doflamingo. Basically, Bellamy was a fanboy of Doflamingo. He wanted to join up with him, and he thought that Doflamingo was like the greatest pirate ever. And remember, that makes perfect sense. A lot of people out there like pirates and whatnot. We see it with what you call him now? What's my man named Bartolomeo? It's a lot of people that want to be pirates and they look up to certain pirates. And remember, pirates are evil, or most of them are evil, and a lot of them bad or like the Straw Hats, somewhat chaotic neutral. So when they get into it, they ain't getting into it thinking that, oh, this guy's gonna be a saint or anything like that. Anyway, he dedicated his life to this motherfucker, put so much into it. Now the guy to the point where he's almost dead and shit like that. You know what? He says, I'm going out like a fucking G. He said, I'm not giving up on Doflamingo. And I really think it is. It's not just that. He goes for his most powerful attack, the one that he used on Luffy and got his ass whooped, doing. He's going for that. He says, you know what? This is our last clash. You're going to have to kill me with this. That's how it ends, right? But I don't think that he's actually saying that I just want to only blindly follow Doflamingo. I really think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that he put so much into Doflamingo that this is really somewhat of a suicide attack. Like, I put he gave his blood, sweat, tears, spit, and ass, all that shit to Doflamingo. All his money. Motherfucker hit the lotto a few times, gave the shit to Doflamingo. Like they showed in the flashback, he hit the Power 6 or whatever it was, the Mega Millions or whatever the fuck it was, and he gave the shit to Doflamingo. You understand? And now Doflamingo finally showed his true colors, and he feel like, fuck, my life ain't worth shit now. So that's what I think he's. I think he's loyal, but at the same time, the main reason I think he's doing it is like a suicide attempt, like, cause I'm pretty much fucking done. I done gave everything to this guy. Now that shit's over. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make one final attempt and just end this shit all together. At least I go out in a blaze of glory like a man. That's what I think he's doing. And I actually like the thing that they did with Bellamy there. He shows how loyal he is to people. Even it seems like loyal to a fault, but not as bad as you think, because like I said, the final attack that he's doing, that he's getting ready to sacrifice his life for and shit like that, it's not really for Doflamingo, it's for himself. It's really just to rid himself of fucking Doflamingo. Like, damn, I did so much shit. Fuck it, let me just end this shit. Them taking out fucking Law's arm. Damn, now the danger's starting to build up. That's starting to build up, so that's good. We got the best fight right here this seemed like the best fight in the whole fucking arc. So I'm gonna give this chapter a 4. The only reason I ain't give it a 4 out of 5, I mean a 4.5. I'm not gonna give it a 5. A 4.5 is they stretching it out, and I really just want to get down to the nitty gritty fighting with Doflamingo. They got Luffy on the sideline still fucking with a clone and shit. You understand? So that's the reason why I couldn't give it a 4.5. But yeah, this chapter was actually pretty good. The Law and Doflamingo fight is real good. They finally showed Law at full strength. and some of Doflamingo's attacks and shit like that that we didn't see before. And we got to see fucking Bellamy at his breaking point. Okay, the struggle got mean singing. It's hard. It's a hard knock life for me. You talking about Andy because that movie Andy came out. Okay, okay, Uncle Mean, why don't you just sell popsicles and fresh lemonade during the summer to kiddies to pay your rent? I've done shit like that, man. Mean, will you read Bleach? I've already read Bleach before. I dropped the shit. You know, people told me that it got better, but I never got around back to checking it out just to see what's going on with it. Do you think the pacing reduced the quality of the art? Hell yeah, I've been saying that. In Toriko, when we went to the gourmet world, the shit was on. When they first showed the new world, the shit was on. Now that we're in the new world, even though I said we got to give it some leeway because they only really went to one island. Because the Punk Hazard is not really an official New World island. It's in the New World, but it's just a no-name island just happened to be there that they was using for research. None of the log poles or eternal poles or none of that shit goes there. So that was just an off-brand island. The only New World island we got is Dressrosa. But Dressrosa just happens to be one of those islands that don't have any type of weird climate, weather, nothing like that. So really, we only got one New World island that just doesn't happen to fit the New World feel. Because all the people on the New World, I mean, in this island aren't really that strong. You know, they don't really have, you know, it's just, I know what you're saying. What about Doflamingo? I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people that the inhabitants of the island. All we got is really is, what's his name? Kiros or whatever. He's the strongest guy from there. He's not really New World. You know, let me see. Is he New World material? When I say he's not New World material, he's New World material because he's stronger than, you know, few of the Straw Hats. But to be like, to actually beat, you know, conquer, you know, islands in the New World, hell no, he ain't up there. Okay, so that's the thing. Like, I think with them moving so slow, we're really not getting to what we want to get to. We want to get back into this fucking New World shit. And see some, and what about what's happening with Big Man? I mean, Big Mom, whatever the fucking name is, shit like that. So of course I want to hurry up, see what's going on, get through Doflamingo, wrap this shit up, get to Big Mom. Whether we're gonna run, fight, whatever, get the fuck out of Dodge. You know what I'm saying? I think they're gonna run because remember they ain't gonna be able to beat Big Mom after they face Doflamingo. But run from her. And then get to the next world and the next island, new world. That way we can see what the fuck happened to all supernovas. Remember, the supernovas got fucked up. Obviously, the new world is strong, but we still ain't even really seen it. Okay, do you think the pacing? Oh yeah, I already said. Doflamingo talked about how there are many ways to take out people who are no man. Oh yeah, that shit was nice. He said, "Well, he said you could have just turned me. He said you could have pit me against Kaido." I liked it, but I don't know why I didn't bring it up. But that part was like, damn, that proved how strong Kaido is. Kaido ain't no joke. He said Kaido could have killed me. Doflamingo acknowledges Kaido's strength. God damn. I don't know why I didn't say that. Yeah, so that part was nice. He said, so, and he proved that, what you call him, Law really wanted revenge more so than anything, because he could have got Kaido to do his dirty work if, you know, if he was able to trick him, you know, and persuade the situation enough. But he said, I want to kill Doflamingo with my own hands. And he underestimated me. You got to pick up Bleach, man. The current arc is hype. I might think about it. I'll see if I ever get the notion to see what's going on in it, you know, one day, and then if I read it and it looks good, I might get back into it. I feel like this arc is necessary, will be a major turning point in the story by the time it's done. No, I agree with you. I feel it's necessary, but I'm just saying, like, I think we should just hurry up and get through it because we really ain't get to the new world yet. So if you live in the kitchen, is your sis feeling the struggle as well? Why? This shit ain't got nothing to do with the video. Anyway, go ahead and leave your comments, like the video, and subscribe, because I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke, and you got the power to change that.